Pete Carroll is as convicted about this as he's going to be on anything. You got to go run the ball. He believes that that's when they've always been good, is when they run the ball best. He believes it's when they were best last night, and he believes it's how they're going to be best moving forward. That's the blueprint. Run the ball. You want me to play it again? I think it's that important. This is the future of the Seahawks. I'll play it twice.
That's how we needed to play. That's how we need to play for the next couple weeks and on into the season. And really, Mike, that's how we've played when we're at our best for years. And there's a lot of people that want to, gripe and complain about, running the football and all that. But you saw, we scored 20 points in the second half. How many points you need to score? 40 points in a game, that's pretty good, And we did it by controlling the football game with the strength of our team.
With the strength of our team. This is the blueprint, man, moving forward.
Can I be a little bit of the Debbie Downer that apparently that's become my role on the show?
Yeah, you're now the Debbie Downer. I appreciate that.
Sorry. That sounds great, but with Collins now injured too, Chris Carson on IR, how do you feel about that being the strength moving forward?
Well, here's what I'm going to tell you, Maura Dooley, the voice of negativity in the other room. Guess who's coming back this week?
Oh, no.
Oh, your
I
boy.
told you a long time ago. Play it. I told you a long time ago that before this year was out, Rashad Penny would make one enormous contribution. He will have a huge game. That game is coming Monday night in front of a national audience at home against the Saints.
Are you calling it now?
Getting a bold prediction on a Monday morning.
100 yards. 100 yards for Penny. Man. I also think Collins going to be able to play.
Okay. So just writing this down for a future Take the Yell in case he doesn't.
Well, he might not. Okay. But I'm calling it right now.
I just want to make sure everyone's aware of this future Take the Yell.
I will say, I sort of came up with this idea before Pete said, and he says this on the show at 9:30, that Collins may be able to go this week. So if Alex Collins is not able to go, Rashad Penny, 100-plus yards. Guarantee it. Put it in the books right now. If Collins does go,
or Pete tells us that he had a setback and he's not going to play this week.
Maura, we'll see. If Rashad Penny plays and Alex Collins does not, sign him up for 100 yards right now. Sign it up, and don't distract. You're trying to distract me from the point. The point, Mrs. Negativity over there. So your issue is that they're not going to have the running back. It doesn't matter who's the running back. Look at Baltimore.
All I asked was what your confidence level is in this being their identity moving forward. If they don't have.
It is high.
Okay.
My confidence is high. My confidence is high. This is what Pete wants to do. Here's the thing. This is the offense that they'd already built. This is what their team roster was drafted for. Everything else is a compromise. Everything else is a compromise to Russell Wilson and poor Shane Waldron, stuck in the middle of all of this. Honestly, he's like the parent, like the child of divorcing parents, except he opted into the family.
Adopted.
He's like, hey, I want to be there. It seems like those two aren't getting along. Can I go jump in the middle of that? No, he's in a tough spot and trying to figure out how to keep everybody happy. We've been saying that since before the season started. But last night, Pete made it pretty clear there's nobody else to keep happy. Make me happy. Run the darn ball.
Now help me understand something. He said in that cut that this is going to be kind of the identity moving forward the next couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. What happens when Russ comes back? How does this change that relationship?
My friend.
If this proves to work the next couple of weeks, and you see the run game being so established, what happens when Russ returns?
That is a really good question. I don't know. I don't know what happens then.
Yeah.
If they win the next two games by running the football, and then Russell comes back, how does he not see that that's what makes the offensive line better, that's what's working for your team? He'd have to see that, right? But does Russ want to see that? Or does Russ want to be an MVP? He's not going to be an MVP this year. So maybe Russ rides it out and says, okay, yeah, I'll hand the ball off. We'll run the ball more this year. But at the end of the year, I think he probably says, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to do that. I'm not interested in that style of offense at this phase of my career. I think he'd be making a mistake, but I think that could happen. I think Russell, if I'm Russell last night, I'm pointing at this and going, hey, I'm pretty darn important. I hope nobody's been taking me for granted. I hope you see when I run versus when Geno Smith runs, how big of a difference it is. And I don't just mean like a running play. I mean, like, do you remember the play at the end of the first half? Geno was running to his left, had to throw. He had Tyler Lockett. There wasn't a player within 15 yards of him. He looked like he played for the other team against the Seahawks last week. He was so open, there was nobody near him across the middle. And Geno just couldn't get it there.
Right.
He's not Russell Wilson.
Right.
He's okay. He's a backup quarterback for a reason. Russell Wilson is an elite franchise quarterback for a reason. We take him for granted. Honestly, I think people do all the time. But I don't think he's going to win this battle on what style of offense they want to play because Pete is convicted. And he he obviously went in at halftime and said, no more, no mas. We need to go out and do this the way I've always done it, the way I know wins football games, regardless of how other people want me to change. So I thought that was by far the biggest takeaway from this game, by far, is that they came out and did it Pete's way in the second half.